Hey everyone. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for no episode last week. I know that my YouTube channel is titled Weekly Catch Up, but I've just been absolutely flat out. I've had a few things I've had to work on. I had 3 assessments to get out of the way for, well, the last 3 assessments for my part of my uni course. I've got 1 semester to go, and then I'm finished at the end of the year. So, I'm in my last year, and the assessments are piling up. I got them out of the way. I've also had to do quite a bit of running around. I recently launched a crowdfunding campaign for my upcoming short film project, and the address is detailed below. And I'd love it if anyone wants to cruise past, and I do need some support there. I've been to quite a lot of business meetings, talking to hopefully the right people that can help out. I went to a business networking thing the other night, and at the end of the night, a bloke come up and explained how he helps fund startup companies and could probably help me out quite a bit, and I hand him a business card, and hopefully I'll hear from him in the future. There's been lots going on in terms of the film project. It's slowly evolving. It's basically all waiting on to make sure I get my money. That's the crucial component. Most of the locations have been locked in, and sort of ready to fire on. I've still got a few locations to sort out. I'm still actually got script development to do, which is another thing, as well as still locking a few key people in the crew side of things, and we'll see how we go from there. I've had a few other glitches during the week. Today I'm actually running a very disjointed operation. Normally I've got a nice slick thing. I just put my Canon XA30 on a tripod, got the Rode NTG 4 Plus shotgun mic mounted on top, bit like this. Here's a photo of all that. Actually, that's sort of what's on my business cards. Here we go. And that runs really nice. It's nice and contained, and off it goes. But I've got a problem with my XA30, and I'll explain about that later. So what I'm using today is my second camera, which is my HF R706 from Canon as well. I just had to remember the damn numbers. And while it does great video, and I'm not quite happy with that, the audio side isn't quite as good, and you can't plug an external mic into it. So I've got the camera handling the video, and what I'm using is my Zoom H6, which is here, and it's recording at the moment. It's connected via the cable to my shotgun mic, which is actually today mounted on a microphone stand. There's a socket that comes with the NTG 4 Plus kit, so you can whack it onto a mic stand, and that's working really good. I've had an issue with my Zoom recently. I was at a gig and I went to plug it into a mixer, and it turned out that one of the sockets wasn't working, and that was a problem. Took it back to DigiDirect there on Elizabeth Street, and these are the guys I've been getting a lot of my kit from. So give them a bit of a plug. I don't get any kickbacks from them or anything. I just get looked after, like everyone that goes in there, I suppose. But there you go. If you want to, they got a website, and you can look at all the gear they've got. And they're really helpful down there as well, so go check them out. What happened was I took the Zoom back. They sent it off, and I don't know, about 3 weeks later they emailed me and said come pick it up. I rocked up, and Zoom had actually decided to give me a brand new one. Can't complain with that. Another problem I had today, which was interesting, was I set all this up, and I haven't used my shotgun mic for about a week. I'd say last time I used it, I didn't turn it off. Sometimes I turn it on at the start of the day, and I just leave the thing running all day so that it's ready to go. I haven't used it for, like I say, for about a week. Went to turn it on today, and it's completely flat. And I could have charged it up, but I thought, let's have a bit of a real life test. I mean, this could happen. I could be at a media conference or about to do an interview, and I don't have the time to charge it. Luckily, the NTG 4 Plus, it's got its own built-in lithium battery, but it'll also take phantom power. There's a couple of different levels for phantom power. I'm no expert on that. Specifically for this one, it needs plus 48 volts. My Canon XA30 camera will provide phantom power at 48 volts. But like I say, I've got an issue with this. I'll get to that in a minute. But also the Zoom will provide phantom power as well, which is really handy. However, because I don't want it to use up the batteries in 5 minutes, I've also plugged it via a USB lead into a 240 volt adapter. So it's all just running off the power and working quite nicely. So what's gone wrong with my main camera? $2,000 camera. I haven't had it 12 months. You'd think it should be all right. And I was hoping it would. I didn't expect this problem to occur. Here's some shots from the other night. People might remember that I was at the Ben Whiting concert down at the Toff on Swanston Street. It was a great night, great gig. I'm still going to put together a bit of a special. I've got some great behind the scenes stuff of them doing sound check and things like that. We had Davey Simony there and Jack the Fox, and it was a great night. And of course we had Ben Whiting and the other boys there. Just David Knight was there as well, and they were just absolutely pumping it. And it was a great gig. But here's what happened during the night. Here's a shot. I zoom in on Ben, get it nicely framed up. Looks great with the blue and everything. And then all of a sudden, wham! It just zooms out automatically. I emailed the boys down at DigiDirect. I spoke to Alex. I said, hey, look, what do I do? He said, well, look, you take it out to Canon, and they might be able to have a look at it. So I took it out to Canon at Clayton, and the upshot is they've had to send it to Sydney, and hopefully I'll get that back in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. It'd be good if they look after me like Zoom did and give me a brand new camera. That'd be nice, but I've got a funny feeling that Canon aren't going to do that. The other problem I've got, and here we'll come to a bit of, here's my bitch for the week. So I buy a $2,000 camera. It's a bigger unit. It's not like the little H7R, the R706 I'm using at the moment. It's a bigger camera. You would think, well, okay, Canon would provide, produce, market, sell a bigger bag for the XA30. This is my current bag that I'm using at the moment. It's not a bad size. Does everything. I get the camera in there. I have to take the microphone socket off, so I'm forever unscrewing the two screws, take it off, and it fits. Problem is I'm carrying 2 or 3 power leads. I've got an adapter in there. I've got a 240 volt chargers. I put the spare battery in. I've got other leads. You know, I'm carrying the light. I've got a little short XLR lead. So you'd think I'd be able to get a bigger bag. So I did some research and I come up with this. It's a CB2 bag. Looks great, fits the camera, nice. Again, contacted DigiDirect. They got onto Canon. No, don't have this bag. It's not in Australia. If you have a look at this page again, you'll see that this is actually eBay from the USA. So I could get it sent from the US. All right, fine. Did a bit more research and I come up with a better bag. It looks like a bigger bag anyway. And not badly priced, but then you read the fine print, doesn't ship to Australia. Another problem. So finally I find that bag again. I went on to Amazon, and Amazon's interesting because we're about to get Amazon here in Australia. They're going to set up probably at the end of next year. That's what they're saying. So I thought, well, let's check them out. Here we go, and get the bag. Here's the pricing for it. It looks pretty good. So this is the bag I'm going to have to go with. It's just frustrating. I would like to have a bag that's got Canon written on the side. I use Canon gear, and I think that in terms of their marketing, I just wonder why Canon wouldn't they have a bag that you can put their equipment in. I just think it's madness. I mean, it's all very well. They got Canon splashed over their cameras, you know, and various other companies have got all their stuff splashed all over their kit, but I'm walking around with this bag all the time. Why wouldn't they want it? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. There's my bitch for the week. So that's about it. Like I say, I've got a lot of things going on, running around trying to lock in this money. I'm chasing 15 grand to make this thing happen. So if anyone's out there that wants to splash in some money, thank you. The other thing I'll do is recently I had Opal Ocean on my YouTube channel. You would have seen the boys, Alex and the Dev there, kicking away with the guitars. They go nuts. Awesome music. They got a gig on the 17th of June at Bar Open. It's at 317 Brunswick Street. I think it kicks off about 9 o'clock at night. So it's going to be that'll be interesting. Be a great gig, and we'll see what happens there. But apart from that, I'm basically, this is it. I'm don't have much to show you. I've been, like I say, I've been flat out of business meetings, and they don't really like me videoing them. So it gets pretty difficult to show. I've done some recent stuff. Here's some shots I did. I did a presentation to some lawyers. I was on the 50th floor of, what was it, 600 Burke Street. 600 Burke Street I was at. He's on the 50th floor. Here's some shots of the view out the windows. I'll leave you with this. And here's a bit of music from the Opal Ocean Boys to carry us away. Cheers, guys. See you next week.